Krishna Hare Krishna Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare.
Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Nityananda Vasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधो जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते तप्त कंचन गौरंगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानु सुते देवी प्रणमामि हरि नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये। बोलो श्री राधे गोविंद भगवान की
जय।
बोलो श्रीमद् भागवतम की
जय।
Hare Krishna, Chinu.
Hey Krishna, good to see you.
Nice to see you. Hello, Hare Krishna, Mayur.
Hare Krishna.
Hello, Prem Sir, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
So yesterday we started reading 8th Skan, 8th Canto and Adhyay first. और कल हम लोग 11th श्लोक पर थे. And जैसा कि हम लोग कल पढ़ रहे थे, the first Manu, right? In this Adhyay, a lot of information is given about Manus, right? And the first Manu, what was the name of first Manu? In this day of Lord Brahma, the first Manu, his name is?
Shambhu Manu.
Right, Shambhu Manu. Shambhu Manu is the first Manu in this day of Lord Brahma. As we were talking yesterday, there are 14 Manus which comes on earth in one day of Lord Brahma, which is 4,032,000,000 years. So each Manu has 71 yug cycles. Each yug cycle is around 4.2 million years. So like 71 times 4.2 million years is one Manu's duration. So the first Manu was Shambhu Manu. And what we were reading was that Shambhu Manu, he lives his kingdom, which is the whole universe, and then he goes for tapasya at Sunanda Nadi. After doing tapasya for hundreds of years, that's when he starts speaking and praying to Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Shri Krishna. And that's what we are reading. So yesterday हम लोग 11वां श्लोक पढ़ रहे थे, which mentioned that although the Supreme Personality of Godhead constantly watches the activities of the world, no one sees him. However, one should not think that because no one sees him, he does not see. For his power to see is never diminished. Therefore, everyone should worship the super soul who always stays within the individual soul as a friend. So Shambhu Manu is giving this message to everyone that everyone should worship the super soul which is connected to Lord Vishnu. So we'll start reading from Shlok 12. Rajashri ji?
न यस्य दन्तो मध्यम च स्वः परोनान्तरं बहिः विश्वस्य मुनि यद् यस्माद् विश्वं च तद्रुतं महत्. Hare Krishna. The Supreme Personality of Godhead has no beginning, no end, and no middle. Nor does he belong to a particular person or nation. He has no inside or outside. The dualities found within this material world, such as beginning and end, mine and theirs, are all absent from the personality of the Supreme Lord. The universe, which emanates From him is another feature of the Lord. Therefore, the Supreme Lord is the ultimate truth, and he is complete in greatness.
Hare Krishna. So,
Hare Krishna.
as we see, Shambhu Manu is glorifying Supreme Personality of Godhead, saying he has na adya, na anto, na madhya. Yeah, he has no beginning, no end, no middle, no antaram, bahi, right? And of course, he is the ultimate truth, and he is complete in greatness. Purnamidam. Right? Very nice purpose. We are going to read this. Mayur?
The Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, is described in the Brahma Samhita. Ishvara Parama Krishna, Sachinanand Vigraha, Anadir Adir Govinda, Sarva Karanam. Krishna, known as Govinda, is the supreme controller. He has an eternal, blissful spiritual body. He is the origin of all. He has no other origin, for he is the prime cause of all causes. For the Lord's existence, there is no cause, for he is the cause of everything. He is in everything, Maya Tattam Idam Sarvam. He is expanded in everything, but he is not everything. He is Achintya Bheda, simultaneously one and different. That is explained in this verse. In the material condition, we have a conception of beginning, end, and middle, but for the Supreme Personality of Godhead, there are no such things. The universe cosmic manifestation is also the Virat Rupa that was shown in Arjun in Bhagavad Gita. Therefore, since the Lord is present everywhere and all the time, he is the absolute truth and the greatest. He is complete in greatness. God is great, and how he is great is explained here. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah. So, if you remember, we also read the Brahma Samhita, and Brahma Samhita is where Lord Brahma is glorifying Lord Govinda. Yeah. And he mentions Ishvara Parama Krishna. Krishna, known as Govinda, is the supreme controller. And he has eternal, blissful, spiritual body. Yeah. Sat Chidanand Vigraha. And he is saying he is the origin of all. And he has no other origin. So he is Anadir and Adi. Adi is the original. Anadir is he has no other origin. Yeah. Anadir Adi Govinda and Sarva Karan Karanam. He is the prime cause of all causes. Yeah. Anilji?
विश्वकाया पुरुहूत ईशः सत्या स्वयं ज्योतिरजः पुराणः प्रत्ययस्य जन्माद्य जयात्मना शक्त्या तां विदेवदस्य निरीह आस्ते. The entire cosmic manifestation is the body of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the Absolute Truth, who has millions of names and unlimited potencies. He is self-effulgent, unborn, and changeless. He is the beginning of everything, but he has no beginning. Because he has created this cosmic manifestation by his external energy, the universe appears to be created, maintained, and annihilated by him. Nonetheless, he remains inactive in his spiritual energy and is untouched by the activities of the material energy. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. And who is speaking this right now?
Sukdev Maharaj?
Shambhu Manu, right?
Oh, Shambhu Maharaj. Okay.
Yeah, of course. Sukdev Goswami ji is explaining this to Parikshit Maharaj, but Shambhu Manu, he did tapasya on one leg, right? At Sunanda Nadi, and that's when he's speaking and he's glorifying Supreme Personality of Godhead, right? And he's saying that based on his, after the meditation, he's saying he's the absolute truth. Vishwakaya Puruhut Ishah. And he's glorifying the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So, again, a nice purport. Let's read this. Ajay?
Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says in his Sikshastaka Namanam Akari Bahuda Nij Sarva Sakit. The Supreme Personality of Godhead has many names, which are all not different from the Supreme Person. This is the spiritual existence. By chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, consisting of names of Supreme Lord, we find that the name has all the potencies of the person. The Lord's activities are many, and according to his activities, he has many names. He appeared as the son of Mother Yashoda and also as a son of Mother Devaki, and therefore he is named Devaki Nandan and Yashoda Nandan. Parasya Saktir Vividhav Sriyate. The Lord has multitude of energies, and therefore he acts in multifarious ways. Yet he has a particular name. The Shastras recommend which names we should chant, such as Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. It is not that we have to search for some name or manufacture one. Rather, we must follow the saintly person and the Shastras in chanting his holy name. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Okay. Okay.
Although the material and spiritual energies both belong to the Lord, He is impossible to understand as long as we are in the material energy. And when we come to the spiritual energy, He is very easy to know. As stated in Srimad Bhagavatam 07.23, Mayam Vyudhyasya Chik Shaktya Kaivalya Sthita Atmani. Although the external energy belongs to the Lord, when one is in the external energy, Mama Maya Duratyaya, he is very difficult to understand. However, when one comes to the spiritual energy, one can understand him. Therefore, in Bhagavad Gita 18:55, it is said, Bhaktya mam abhijnani yavan yaschashmi tattva. One who wants to understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead in reality must take to the platform of bhakti or Krishna consciousness. This bhakti consists of various activities: Sharanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu, Smaranam, Padasevanam, Archanam, Vandanam, Dasyam, Sakyam, Atmanivednam. And to understand the Lord, one must take to this path of devotional service. Even though the people of the world have forgotten God and may say that God is dead, this is not a fact. One can understand God when one takes to Krishna consciousness movement, and thus one can be happy. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So what is mentioned here is, it says as mentioned in Bhagavad Gita, Bhaktya Mam Abhijanati. Like one who wants to understand Lord Sri Krishna has to really be on the platform of bhakti or Krishna consciousness. That's the only way to understand Lord Sri Krishna. That's how you can surrender. And it's mentioned, as we know, right? There are 9 ways to do the bhakti. Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Ishmanam, Pad Sevanam, Archanam, Vandanam, Dashyam, Sakyam, and Atmanivedanam. Yeah. Different examples are given, like for Dashyam, Lord Hanumanji's example is given. Sakyam, Arjun's example is given. Yeah. Like we have Pada Sevanam, that's Lakshmi Ji's example is given. She is always serving the lotus feet of Lord Vishnu, right? And Vishnu Ishmanam, like Prahlad Maharaj's example is given on the Kirtana, right? So those are the different ways one can do devotional service and surrender to Lord Sri Krishna. And as we do that, we come to the platform of spiritual energy, and that's when one can understand him. Otherwise, it's very difficult to understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is what is mentioned here. Yeah. Chinu?
Athagre Rashya Karman Tante Karma Hetave Thamano hi Purusha Brayo Nitam Prapadyate. Therefore, to enable people to reach this stage of activities that are not tinged by fruitive results, great saints first engage people in fruitive activities. For unless one begins by performing activities as recommended in the Shastras, one cannot reach the stage of liberation or activities that produce no reactions. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah. We do the activities surrendering to Lord Shri Krishna is what is mentioned. That's how we can get rid of the karmas. Ihate bhagvanisho nahi tatra visajyate atmalabhena purnartho navasidanti ye anutam. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is full in opulence by his own gain. Yet he acts as the creator, maintainer, and annihilator of this material world. In spite of acting in that way, he is never entangled. Hence, devotees who follow in his footsteps are also never entangled. And it's again nice purport. Let's read this. Rajasi.
As stated in Bhagavad Gita 3.9, Yajana Rathat Karmano Nyatra Loko Yam Karma Bandhavanaha. Work done as a sacrifice for Vishnu has to be performed. Otherwise, work binds one to this material world. If we do not act in a Krishna consciousness, we shall be entangled like silkworm in cocoons. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, appears in order to teach us how to work so that we will not be entangled in this material world. Our real problem is that we are entangled in materialistic activities, and because we are conditioned, our struggle continues through punishment in material existence in one body after another in different forms of life. As the Lord says in Bhagavad Gita 15.7, Mama evam so jiva loke jiva bhutah sandhya sanatanah manah sastavana driyani prakriti stani karsati. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah. And as we know, because we are conditioned, we struggle continues. And what happens is we keep going into the cycles of birth, death, old age, and disease, right? That's our struggle. How do we get out of that? Is to get out of the entanglement of the materialistic world, and that is through the process of devotion, is what is mentioned, right? Mayur?
The living entities in this conditioned world are my eternal fragmental parts. Due to conditioned life, they are struggling very hard with the sixth senses, which include the mind. The living entities are actually minute forms who are part and parcel of the Supreme Lord. The Supreme Lord is full in everything, and the small particles of the Lord are also originally qualified like him. But because of their minute existence, they are infected by material attraction and thus entangled. We must therefore follow the instructions of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and then, like Krishna, who is never entangled by his material activities of creation, maintenance, and annihilation, we will have nothing for which to lament. Navasidanti ye nutam. Krishna personally gives instructions in Bhagavad Gita, and anyone who follows these instructions is liberated. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Tarun.
Hare Krishna, everyone. Following Krishna's instructions is possible when one is a devotee. For Krishna instructs that one should become a devotee. Man mana bhava mad bhaktyo mad yaji mam namaskuru. Always think of me and become my devotee. Worship me and offer your homage unto me. Always thinking of Krishna means chanting the Hare Krishna mantra, but unless one is an initiated devotee, he cannot do this. As soon as one becomes a devotee, he engages in deity worship, madhyati, yaji. A devotee's business is to offer obeisances to the Lord and the spiritual master constantly. This principle is the recognized way to come to the platform of bhakti. As soon as one comes to this platform, he gradually understands the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and simply by understanding Krishna, one is liberated from material bondage. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Finally,
समीहमानं निराहङ्कृतं बुद्धं निराशिषं पूर्णमनन्यचोदितं नजं क्षयन्तं निजवर्तमसंस्थितं प्रभुं प्रपद्ये अखिलधर्मभावनं. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, works just like an ordinary human being, yet he does not desire to enjoy the fruits of work. He is full in knowledge, free from material desires and diversions, and completely independent. As the supreme teacher of human society, he teaches his own way of activities, and thus he inaugurates the real path of religion. I request everyone to follow him. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah, this is what Shambhu Manu is instructing and glorifying Lord Shri Krishna. Yeah, so it's nice. Mayur?
Shambhu Manu is the leader of mankind, and he has given a book called Manu Samhita to guide human society. Herein, he directs us to follow the Supreme Personality of Godhead in his different incarnations. These incarnations are described in Vedic literature, and Jayadev Goswami has described 10 important incarnations in summary. Keshav Dhrita Meena Shastra, Jaya Jagad Isha Hare, Keshav Dhrita Nara Hare Rupa, Jaya Jagad Isha Hare, Keshava Dhrita Buddha Shastra, Jaya Jagad Isha Hare, etc. Shambhu Manu instructs us to follow the instructions of God's incarnations, especially Krishna's instructions of Bhagavad Gita as it is. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Also in Srimad Bhagavatam, we read about all the avatars of Lord Shri Krishna and Lord Shri Vishnu. Yeah? Ajay?
Shri Shuk Uvach Iti Mantropanisadam Vyaharatnam Samahitam Drishtavasura Yatudhana Jagmudbhya Dravan Shudha. Sukdev Goswami continued, Shambhu Manu was there in a trance chanting the mantras of Vedic instruction known as the Upanishads. Upon seeing him, the Rakshasas and Asuras, being very hungry, wanted to devour him. Therefore, they ran after him with great speed. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah, so Sukdev Goswami ji is speaking, and he is speaking to whom? Parikshit Maharaj, right? Sukdev Goswami is reciting the Srimad Bhagavatam to Parikshit Maharaj. So he's telling Parikshit Maharaj that Shambhu Manu, after glorifying Lord Shri Krishna, was in a trance and he went into Samadhi. And it's mentioned that when he went into Samadhi, the Rakshasas and Asuras who were present, they went behind Shambhu Manu. Yeah. Prem?
Tam Svatha Avistan Viksya Yajna Sarvagato Hari Yame Parivitro Devair At Vasatri Vistapyam. The Supreme Lord Vishnu, who sits in everybody's heart, appearing as Yagnapati, observed that the Rakshasas and demons were going to devour Shambhu Manu. Thus the Lord, accompanied by his sons named the Yamas and by all the other demigods, killed the demons and Rakshasas. He then took the post of Indra and began to rule the heavenly kingdom. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So then that time Lord Vishnu appeared as Yagnapati, and then he said Shambhu Manu, right? It says here the various names of the demigods, right? Devatas, Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva, Lord Indra, and so on, are not personal names. They are names of different posts. In this regard, we understand that Lord Vishnu sometimes becomes Brahma or Indra when there is no suitable person to occupy these posts. It's very interesting, right? So Lord Brahma is also in this materialistic universe, and somebody achieves that post of Lord Brahma. Yeah. Chinu?
Varochiso dvityastu manur agneh suto bhavat dyumat sushena rochishmat pramukhas tasya chatmaja. The son of Agni, named Svarochisa, became the second Manu. His several sons were headed by Dyumat, Sushen, and Rochismat. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah. So then the second Manu's name was Swarochiso. Yeah. Swarochi. Swarochiso. Yeah. Is the name of the second Manu. First is Shambhu Manu and Swarochisho is the second Manu. And then it's, let's read this purport, Prem.
Manvantaram Manurdeva Manuputra Surveshwara Rasyo Mansvatarascha Hare Sad Vidam Uchyate. There are many incarnations of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Manu, the Manuputra, the sons of Manu, and the king of the heavenly planets and the 7 great sages are all partial incarnations of the Supreme Lord. Manu himself, his sons Priyavrata and Uttanpada, the demigods created by Daksha, and the rishis like Marichi were all partial incarnations of the Lord during the reign of Swambhu Manu. During that time, the incarnation of the Lord as Yajna took charge of ruling the heavenly planets. The next Manu was Swarochicha. The Manus and the sages and the demigods are further described in the following 11 verses. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah, as we know, we read about the Priyavrat Maharaj and Uttanpad Maharaj, yeah, sons of Shambhu Manu, right? And then we also read about Dehuti and Auti, right, who are daughters of Shambhu Manu. And Dehuti got married to Karda Muni's son was Kapil Muni, and then Ahuti's son is a Yagya. Yeah. So we have been reading about different Manus. Tarun?
Tatrendro Rochanastav Asid Devarscha Tusitadhayaha Urja Stambadhaya Sapta Raseyo Brahma Vadina. During the reign of Swarochisa, the post of Indra was assumed by Rochana, the son of Yajna. Tusita and others became the principal demigods, and Urja, Stambha, and others became the 7 saints. All of them were faithful devotees of the Lord. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah? So this is during the second Manvantara. Rishestu Veda Shirastu Shita Nama Patanya Bhut Tashyam Jagge Tato Devo Vibhuritya Bhivishutah. Vedashil was a very celebrated rishi. From the womb of his wife, whose name was Tushita, came the avatar named Vibhu. Rajashri?
अष्टाशीतिसहस्राणि मुनयो ये धृतव्रताः अन्वशिक्षन् व्रतं तस्य कुमार ब्रह्मचारिणः. Vibhu remained a brahmachari and never married throughout his life. From him, 88,000 other saintly persons took lessons on self-control, austerity, and a similar behavior.
Yeah. So Vibhu appeared during second Manvantara, Astashuti Sahasrani, and he instructed 88,000 other sense at that time. Mayur?
Tritiya Uttama Nama Priya Vrat Suto Muniha Pavana Shrijagyo Yagna Hotra Dhasta Tasuta Nrupa. O king, the third Manu, Uttam was the son of King Priyavrata. Among the sons of this Manu were Pavan, Shrijanya, Yagna, and Yagnahotra. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah? So Tritiya Uttamo, right? The Tritiya Manu, Manu's name was Uttam. Yeah. Anil?
वशिष्ठतनयाः सप्तर्षयः प्रमदादयः सत्याद्वेदश्रुता भद्रा देवा इन्द्रस्तु सत्यजित्. During the reign of the third Manu, Pramad and other sons of Vashishth became the 7 sages. The Satyas, Vedashrutas and Bhadras became demigods, and Satyajit was selected to be Indra, the king of heaven. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah, so see how interestingly it is. Like during each tenure of Manuvantar, yeah, which is again like almost 4.2 times 71 million years, how different sages becomes the Saptrishis, how someone becomes the king of heaven, yeah, and similarly, you know, different devatas. So, Ajay?
धर्मस्य सुनृतायां तु भगवान् पुरुषोत्तमः सत्यसेन इति ख्यातो जतः सत्यव्रतैः सह. In this Manvantara, the Supreme Personality of Godhead appeared from the womb of Sunarta, who was the wife of Dharma, the demigod in charge of religion. The Lord was celebrated as Satyasena, and he appeared with other demigods known as Satyavratas. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah. So in the third Manuvantar, what is the name of third Manu? Yeah, we just said in the last shlok. The third Manu, Uttam, right? Uttama.
Uttam, yeah.
Yes. And during his Manuvantar, Bhagwan Vishnu, Bhagwan Purushottama, appeared as Satyasen. So like we have different avatars in this Manuvantar, which is the 7th Manuvantar, right? Our Manu is Vyavasvat Manu, right? Lord Vishnu has appeared in different avatars, like Lord Ram, Lord Shri Krishna, like that, right? He appeared as a Satyasen in third Manuvantar. Chinu?
Sonitra Vrata Dusyan Asto Yaksha Rakshasan Bhuta Druho Bhuta Gunamsh Javadit Satyajit Sukha. Satyasen, along with his friend Satyajit, who was the king of heaven, Indra, killed all the untruthful, impious, and misbehaved yakshas, rakshasas, and ghostly living entities who gave pains to other living beings. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah. Prem?
Chatur Uttamam Bhrata Manurmana Cha Tamasa Ritu Kyatir Nir Ketu Vrityadha Dash Tutsutta. The brother of the third Manu, Uttama, was celebrated by the name Tamasa, and he became the 4th Manu. Tamsa had 10 sons, headed by Prithu, Khyati, Nara, and Ketu.
Hare Krishna. So name of the fourth Manu is Tamasa. So third one is Uttam, fourth one is Tamasa. Tarun?
Satyaka Haryo Veera Devastrityashikaha Ishvara Jyotirdhamayadaya Sapta Rushayastama Tamasthyanantare. During the reign of Tamasa Manu, among the demigods were the Satyakas, Haris and Viras. The heavenly king Indra was Trishika. The sages in Saptarshi Dhama were headed by Jyotirdhama. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So how Sukdev Goswamiji is describing all the Manus briefly to Parikshit Maharaj. Yeah. Rajashri?
Deva Vedyatayo Nama Vidhrutesta Nayanrapa Nashta Kalena Yerveda Vidyutaha Svena Tejasa. O king, in the Tamas Manavantara, the sons of Vidhirti, who were known as the Vidhirtis, also became demigods. Since in course of time the Vedic authority was lost, these demigods by their own powers protected the Vedic authority.
Hare. Finally?
यज्ञे भगवान हरिण्याम हरिमेधसा हरिता येन गजेन्द्रो मोचितो ग्रहात्. Also in this Manvantar, the Supreme Lord Vishnu took birth from the womb of Harini, the wife of Harimedha, and he was known as Hari. Hari saved his devotee Gajendra, the king of the elephants, from the mouth of a crocodile. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Mayur?
Shri Rajo Vacha Badrayan Etata Te Shrotu Micha Mahe Vyam Harirayatha Jagpatim Graha Grahasta Mamu Mochata. King Parikshit said, My lord Badarayani, we wish to hear from you in detail how the king of the elephants, when attacked by a crocodile, was delivered by Hari. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah, so as Sukdev Goswami is telling King Parikshit Maharaj, right, about different Manus, and then when he mentioned in the Tamas Manu, right, how Gajendra was saved by Lord Shri Vishnu Hari, so he's asking Badrayani. Badrayani is the name of Sukdev Goswamiji. Yeah. And he's asking him to tell the Katha of the Gajendra Moksha. Ajay?
tat kathasu mahat punyam dhanyam satyanam shubham yatottam shloko bhagwan giyate Hari. Any literature or narration in which the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Uttam Shlok, is described and glorified is certainly great, pure, glorious, auspicious, and all good. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah, that's what Srimad Bhagavatam is, right? Srimad Bhagavatam has Uttam Shloko and it's Bhagwan Giyate Hare. Yeah, it glorifies the glorious auspiciousness, right? And glorifies the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Like what we have seen starting from Canto 1 to Canto 8, every time, somebody or else is glorifying the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Like in this Adhyaya, we saw how Shambhu Manu is glorifying Lord Vishnu, right? So this is how, this is the Katha with all the Uttam shlokas glorifying Supreme Personality of Godhead. Yeah, Chinu.
Sutta Uvacha Parikshitavam Satu Badarayan Yane Prayo Pavishtena Kathasu Shodita Uvacha Vipra Pratinandya Parthivam Muda Muninam Sadashisma Srinvatam. Sri Sutta Goswami said, O Brahmanas, when Parikshit Maharaj, who was awaiting impending death, thus requested Sukdev Goswami to speak, Sukdev Goswami, encouraged by the king's words, offered respect to the king and spoke with great pleasure in the assembly of sages who desired to hear him. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah, so then Sukdev Goswami is going to talk about Gajendra Moksha in the next adhyay. And this ends the Bhakti Vedanta purpose of the 8th canto, first chapter of the Srimad Bhagavatam entitled The Manus, Administrators of the Universe. Right? So we complete the first chapter. Hello, Srimad Bhagavatam ki
Jai.
Yeah, so I think we are going to pause here.
One question. So this is covering up till 4th Manu, right?
Yeah, so I think as we move on, we will read more, right?
Okay.
But as we are covering the 4th Manu in this adhyay, the Katha of Gajendra Moksha came up, and that's where Parikshit Maharaj is inquiring to find out more about how that happened, right? So I think that's what we'll read next.
Okay.
Right? Yeah, like he says, the elephant Gajan's crisis, that's the next adhyay, is what we are going to read. Sorry, let me share the screen again. Yeah, that's the adhyay 2. That's what we are going to read. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, Chinu, thanks for that comment.
Sorry, that was a very bad joke.
No, it's all right. Just so that. So we are going to hear a beautiful bhajan, 5 to 6 minutes. And this is of Kripaluji Maharaj singing Radhe Govind. So we'll hear that and then we'll see you tomorrow. Yeah. So let me share the screen. Boलो Sri Radhe Govind Bhagwan ki jai.
Jai.
Hare Krishna, very beautiful bhajan by Kripaluji Maharaj. Okay. And we'll see you tomorrow, 9:30 p.m. Yeah.
Okay.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Krishna.